Okay, welcome to our second 10-minute teaser and a very warm welcome to Sara Tilley. Thanks for being here, Sara.
Hi Anna, thank you for inviting me. Very pleased to be here to talk about maths.
Excellent. Could you just give us a brief overview about what your input is going to be into Enfield's professional learning programme next year?
Right, so I'm involved in planning and writing and delivering the primary maths courses, or the majority of the primary maths courses. So worked alongside Peter Warwick, and we plan and teach the courses online. So we've got a whole range of courses, right from early years right up to transition to year 6, year 7. But we write them ourselves, we research them ourselves, we practice the ideas ourselves in schools, and then we deliver it as well.
Fantastic. I've been lucky enough to drop in on some of your online sessions this past year, so I've benefited mathematically as well as professional learning, which is great. So could you tell us maybe a little bit about your organisation, if you call it that, your work as a consultant with maths?
Yes, my business is called Curious Maths. I'm a freelance primary maths consultant and became freelance after working for Enfield for 10 years as a primary maths consultant for the School Improvement Service. So my week is just full of maths. It can vary. I have at least 2 days a week where I'm in class coaching and team teaching with teachers and planning. And then the other time I'm spending online doing courses for Enfield and 2 other local authorities. But I also have written an after school maths programme. So it is just kicking back off again, but it was originally aimed at year 6, but now is in Enfield schools as an after school programme club run by, I've got a team of 7 teachers who run my club out in Enfield schools. I do a bit of enrichment. I haven't been able to do so in the last year, but I run workshops and a great big, huge, massive quiz in Enfield, Anna, which you haven't yet experienced, a maths quiz. But that will be back on the books next year, I think.
That sounds great. That's great. So could you maybe give us a sense of some of the recent and even not so recent successes you've had? Because I know maths is your thing, it's your life, it's even your wallpaper.
It is my wallpaper.
That you've had with schools, you know, young people, teachers.
Well, do you know what? Just recently I was talking to another country, actually, all about maths in London, and one of the things that I really feel proud of and had a huge role along with Peter is the use of CPA and manipulatives and images in Enfield. And from talking to a variety of different schools around the country, but also outside the country, I think one of the biggest things that I think Enfield have been working so hard on, and I've been massively part of that, is the development of making maths meaningful and practical, helping children to remember more, getting them engaged. So that's, you know, when I speak to other places and I hear about practice, and I'm hearing sometimes that there isn't much manipulatives in place and images, and that's something I'm working with them on. That's something I think has been a real success story in Enfield.
That sounds great. Yeah. Can you just, in case people aren't familiar with CPA, can you just
summarize it? Yes, CPA, it's an approach to teaching mathematics. It's concrete, pictorial, abstract, and it's a journey, and it's called under lots of different names. CPA, sometimes I like to call it build it, draw it, write it, say it. But it's a journey to an outcome of understanding. It's a mastery approach. And the idea is that children get practical, they have concrete experiences that encourage them to talk about the maths they see and discover ideas and make connections. And we slowly move through that journey by capturing that concrete into a pictorial in the maths book, like bar modelling or anything that part whole model, a number line, capture it in the maths book, and then finally move to that abstract maths, which is more the formal maths you sort of remember from primary school perhaps or secondary school, but it's part of a journey, and I think we do that really well. And we, you know, there's so much always more to learn, and I'm picking up more and more ideas along the way. But that's CPA in a nutshell.
That's great. Can I just quickly ask another question on that, which is just, is there an age limit to CPA? Is there an idea that it stops at a certain age?
Quite the opposite. I think historically resources have been more commonly used in early years than Key Stage 1. Key Stage 2 teachers not as experienced in using them. But one of the big pushes we've had is to try and get those manipulatives and images into Key Stage 2. Bar modelling is a fantastic example of a model that can go right through secondary school and is really effective with algebra. It lays the foundations for algebra. And actually, within the last year, I've trained an MPhil secondary school on the use of bar modelling because they wanted to pick up what we were doing in primary straight through. So no, it isn't, excuse me, something that's aimed at the early years and Key Stage 1, but we're dispelling those myths. And this is all about helping children make connections, about enabling them to become active mathematicians and get involved. And nobody wants to sit and listen to somebody for an hour. So I don't think it is a year group thing. It's something we can all use and jump in and out of.
I like that answer. That sounds great. So I know that you're working with the whole range of cohorts from school communities, so teaching assistants, early years teachers, Key Stage 1, Key Stage 2, and into Key Stage 3, which is really exciting. Is there any preparation that you want participants to do before they come on the course?
The courses are very active, so we'll always be doing some maths, and it's a very supportive, learning environment. I'm here to help support and teach. So sometimes maths resources will be needed, and what we'll do is we'll let you know beforehand. Or what we sometimes do is put on the first slide at the beginning of the session, go and grab yourself a tray of Numicon. However, I've got a visualizer. If you haven't got the manipulatives with you, I can model it all on screen anyway. So in terms of being prepared, definitely come with a preparedness of having a go and getting stuck in. We use breakout rooms to give you a chance to have those conversations, but actually because of the visualizer and the nature of the messages we're trying to get across, we do a lot of active maths. So it's about getting stuck in, getting involved and having a go, I think.
I thought you might say something about come prepared to be active.
Yeah. it's I think one of the things that I've learned, and I've been in education over 20 years, and one of the things that keeps coming home to me is, it's really difficult to prepare lessons in, all the lessons you've got to teach in a day. But if you can have a chance to experience the maths activity, you get, you teach it in a different way. You get a real good picture of what might go wrong, the misconceptions that might arise, but also where you can challenge and push. And so that's why, we don't want to do sessions where you are just sitting and listening. We want you to feel the activity, experience the activity, because actually that's your professional development. That's a reflection on what you need to put into the activity to make the most of it.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Thank you. As you know, we've asked all providers to share a quote that's then gone up on the website. Would you be happy to share the quote and why you chose that quote for your pages?
Yes, so I have chosen, I have no special talents, I am only passionately curious. And that's an Einstein quote. And I use that a lot. And obviously my company's called Curious Maths. My after school club is called the Curious Mathematicians Club. And actually everyone thinks Einstein is this incredible genius. But the idea that he didn't think that of himself, he just recognized in himself that he was a trier. He was going to have a go. He wasn't going to give up. He was going to ask questions. That kind of whole growth mindset idea, like, hang on, I'm not this genius, but what I am is inquisitive, curious. I want to know more. And I think that's really important in maths. I think it's one of those subjects where growth mindset is really important. And the curiosity side of it is like the exploration into maths and the spotting patterns and sniffing patterns and wondering where it might go next, all that sort of curiosity side.
I think that's really what people come away with from any of your training. It gets rid of it dispels the myth or the hang up or the hangover from feeling that maths is right, wrong.
Yeah.
And, it engages people and shows how interesting and everyday it is, which is fantastic. I'm not going to share the dates of your programs because there are too many.
There are a few, aren't there?
So I think we begin in September and we go all the way through to the following summer. So obviously when you're on our website, it's listed under teaching, learning and innovation, then primary and then maths. And that's where, apart from the secondary course, the early years and the TAs who have they have their own menus. So just finally, would you like to share any social media contact info, Sara?
Yes, so I am on social media. My Facebook page is called Curious Maths, and I've got quite a lot of followers on Facebook. And on Facebook, I have a good community of teachers and parents and teaching assistants. And I put fun puzzles, ideas, things I magpie off people, real links to government websites, updates, all of that type of thing. So I do a lot of that on my Facebook page. I'm also on Twitter. At Curious Maths, Instagram, and I do have a YouTube channel where I have some videos on there to support teaching and learning at home and in school, and particularly around Maths Through Story, which is one of my biggest passions. I've got some really great ideas of maths books you can use in school, and I'm delighted to say Enfield we're doing a course this year on Maths Through Story. I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah,
two actually.
Two, yeah.
Yeah, which is fantastic. Okay, so yes, you're definitely on social media.
Yes, I'm about. You can get hold of me.
That's great. Listen, Sara, thank you so much for your time. It's lovely that you can share with people your work and what you're doing in collaboration with us. So thanks again for being here.
Yeah, that's a pleasure, Anna. Thanks very much for inviting me. Looking forward to getting stuck in next year.
Excellent. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.